Firstly, I want to start out by saying I love Insomniac Spider-Man. I have played through it at least 3 times, once on my PS4 and 2 times on my PS5, and have enjoyed every minute of it. The feel of swing through the New York is one of the most rarest moments in the game when the travels becomes cathartic and a zen-like place to lose hours in it. Simply getting from point A to point B is a joy that few games have ever captured. In fact, the only thing I can fault from the game is the only no Bruce Campbell cameo, which understandable still hurts for the old Spidey heads like himself. So when the opportunity came to review the PC version of the game, I thought, well, I can quickly check it. No PC tech stuff, review done nice and quick. 25 hours later, I have once again played through good the whole game, collecting everything and taking down all foes in the process. Spider-Man is still that good. Here is short version for those news because they aren't part of the PlayStation Owners Society. So the Spider-Man offers a fully recreated Manhattan to swing around in your leisure, a great story involving a lesser-known foe, and a combat system that makes inspiration from the Arkham games, but amp it up in all sorts of ways. It is a fantastic game, and its version is topped off by healthy beat DLC that takes story in fun direction. There is a little fault with the game itself. It could be argued that there are a lot of needles collecting through the checkboxes through the New York, but when the simple act of movement is so fun, I find it hard to subscribe to that theory. But PC port has a few issues. Not gigantic ones mind, but enough to make me wish for some patching pretty fucking quickly. First, I want to preface this with I'm playing a pre-release copy of the game, and I may be launch patch which others the major concerns, but it stands there are quite 5 minor graphical issues going in this stage. Some of the most notable are stuttering and lag during cutscenes, weird reflection glitches on interactive objects, and occasional fragmented shooter. None of this happened in the PS5 version, and considering I'm running 3080 Ti and i9, there is no hardware reason for it to be occur. In this round, PC ports isn't the worst offender by a long way, but it still leaves a little to be desired. If you are comparing to the of Sony first title, it sits between the notoriously rough Horizon Zero Dawn port and fantastic God of War port. Of course, none of this unfixable. I would highly doubt that the studio with the privileged Insomniac will allow these issues to hang out for a long time. I fully expect them to be sorted out quickly smart. I saw all of these more warning about a few rough edges for early adopters. Otherwise, the game looks great on the high-ended PC. I could run the game in a stable 130 with the full RTX support on my 2K system and frankly outside the PS5 version. This is a pretty game, folks, and extra graphical power really brings out the amazing detail in the character models and world itself. Everything about the game feels like a labor of love, a project that no detail, no matter how minor, was ignored. I think it's also worth mentioning that trying to play this game with a keyboard and mouse is a nightmare and should be avoided at all costs. This game designed for a controller and a controller only. The joy of swinging around New York quickly turned into frustration when using a mouse and a keyboard. So much so I opinion and they should have bit a bullet, have made controller compulsory. I'm sure that will annoy a master race purist on the but hey, sometimes you need the right tool for the right job. And a somewhat ironic twist, I found playing it with my Xbox controller to be best option, probably due to its naturally better compatibility to the PCs more than the other. Other than that, there is no PC quirks to avoid, and the game looks to adopt a wide range of system configurations well. There is one other thing I want to comment on. This may be just my personal view on things, but I feel like not including the Miles Morales Spider-Man, Sony is still short-charging PC players. It tells me they want to release it a later date, a full price, and try to get players to a double dip. Now I'm all for gamers selling for appropriate price, but when the game is few years old and is only coming to the PC as an afterward, it feels like a little off to double dipping from the players you have ignored for years. If Sony wants to keep treating PC as something it will port to a few years after release, they can be surprised when they find unhappy about paying day one price and not giving them option for the available content. Especially with the PS5 owners could get the Miles and Spider-Man in one package. There is a feeling that Sony is just testing the waters as far as the PC market is concerned and is scared to fully commit despite the success they have had with their ports so far. So with the odds I say done, Spider-Man is a fantastic game, one of the highlights of the last generation of console games, and the PC versions will certainly hit the spot of those that have missed it. A couple of little porting issues stop it from being the best version of the game. I expect that to charge quickly, and once it does, there will be the premium version of the game. Spider-Man is a triumph, and I hope it goes and does extremely well, so Sony continue to gain confidence in the PC market and trade games and the gamers platform to their top tiers or more regular pace. Fantastic experience on the PC. There are a couple of smart glitches, as I said before. If you haven't played it before, it must buy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Bye bye.